It's 2018. There's gonna be drag kids in the world. And I'm one of them.
What the fuck is this? Seriously, what the fuck is this, and why has nobody called Child Protective Services? It's 2018. There are going to be drag kids in the world. That sums things up, doesn't it? We're not just going down any rabbit hole. We are going down a rabbit hole where Bugs Bunny is dressed in drag and being gang-fucked on the semen-covered floor of a gay bar, while soul-rending techno music and obnoxious colours rattle your soul. Now, this kid who goes by Desmond is Amazing is apparently quite well known and is quite big on the LGBT scene, because expecting them to have any decency would be fucking silly, wouldn't it? So long we were sold the lie about them just wanting to be left alone and without harassment, and that it was a perfectly normal relationship between consenting adults, and that they were just like us. And then they stole the rainbow, and then the Anglican Church, and this culminated in them stealing the minds of our fucking children. 11 years old, and the poster child for cross-dressers and the other mentally ill. Go ahead, tell me I'm overreacting. At 11 years old, I wanted to be a space marine. Contrast that with this poor little bastard that at 11 years old is a masturbation fantasy for pederasts. And this isn't a new thing. The Roman Emperor Nero was infamous for surrounding himself with a harem of young boys, and in ancient Greece the three main hobbies were philosophy, civil war and buggery. But it really says something about a society when these proclivities are no longer hidden in shame. When people of such poor moral character are so fucking coddled in the name of tolerance and individualism that they remove themselves from the dark shadows that they once inhabited. And what do young Desmond's parents think of this? No, not parents. They're not fucking parents. They're pimps. They love it. Of course they do. Look at them. Look at their smug satisfaction as they allow their son into a community pervaded by paedophilia, drug abuse and domestic violence. And I'm preempting the snarky Catholic priest comments, and I get it. But think on this. The horrific child abuse cases in the church have predominantly targeted boys. These perverted wolves in sheep's clothing that do this to little children are almost exclusively homosexual, and don't you worry, gents, it gets worse. Look at this fucking picture. Look at it. Now, I've censored it, of course, but I'm not even quite sure what I should be censoring because I still can't quite comprehend what I am looking at. It reminds me of when you watch a wildlife documentary and you see the cute little baby gazelle fall behind the pack and into the jaws of a merciless predator. And that is quite apt, but this kid didn't fall behind. He was pushed, encouraged and baited into the arms of these people. Society didn't miss this, they applauded it. How far have we fallen? This boy is 9 years old. Christ have mercy. And of course it isn't just the parents. The media are wholeheartedly embracing this great leap forward into the murky waters of degeneracy, with puff piece after puff piece praising this kid and his bravery and the barriers that he is supposedly breaking. Barriers like decency and, actually having a fucking childhood. This is the same media that will scratch their rainbow-coloured beers as they write articles trying to work out why people like me exist. Why the far right is suddenly a thing. I will give you a solid fucking hint. The far right exists because the far fucking left exists. Political extremes are like society's immune system, and they tend to flare up when infections begin to manifest. I can't help but think, looking at this, that this is nothing short of demonic. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. There's no argument that could be made that this is not sexualisation of children. And this is sexualisation of children encouraged not only by the media, but by their own fucking parents. By advocates selling a lie, by liberal politicians and the idiots who brand any form whatsoever of pushback against this rot as hate or bigotry. And you don't need me to name the man behind the curtain. You already know. And this will piss people off, but this has also happened because we allowed it to happen. We allowed ourselves to become commodities in a free market that is anything but free. And in turn we chased an idea of freedom that never really existed, and we became slaves to darkness. We lost our faith and a new cult rushed in to fill the void. We attacked Christian morality, and now we are reaping the consequences in the forms of industrial scale abortion, hideous promiscuity culture, and this filth. I look at the hordes of Muslims invading Europe and how well our politicians accommodate them. And I do sometimes wonder to myself if somewhere down the line they realise that they fucked up. And now they're trying to import a new system of morality because we seem to have fucking lost ours. I'll paraphrase the excellent Mark Collett. But this is not a slippery slope so much as a snowball effect, gathering size and momentum until it eventually destroys whatever is in its path. Our political inertia needs to stop. There needs to be real political pushback. The people that allowed this need to be brought to heel, and it needs to happen pretty fucking quickly. The mindset of Western societies that allow scandals like Rotherham to happen in the name of tolerance, diversity and the great rainbow unicorn of love shows that we already have very little issue in giving our children to satiate the predators, and this is one more example. This is why the far right exist. There needs to be a new order, and it needs to be now. In Genesis, God gave us the rainbow as a covenant that he would never again flood the earth for our sins. The same rainbow that is on the flag that is waved proudly and under which degeneracy festers. We are not on the winning footing here. We are not even close. And I don't blame these children. I pity them greatly as I try to imagine their future. There's already been speculation that Desmond is strung out on hard drugs, and given the company he keeps, I don't think that's as far-fetched as you'd think. And the kid, pictured with the naked tranny, well, it doesn't bear thinking about what's probably happened to him. And we'll watch through the years as he continues on his circuits and picks up destructive behaviours and probably God knows what STDs. And then we'll all sit there and wonder why he died so young. Until the next poor gay kid is thrust into the limelight and used as a political mouthpiece by morally bankrupt parents and LGBT advocates. It's hard to look at this and not think that we are at rock bottom. But do you know what the scariest thing is? Every time I think we're at rock bottom, they keep digging. And they turn over something inevitably worse.